What are you doing?
This is a new cartoon. Did you read the thing about it?
No, I'm talking to him who just showed up on your left side.
This is a story about a young man named Ted Studebaker. You love these pictures, boys. He grew up in a large farm family with 8 other children. He was the 7th born to Stanley and Zelma Studebaker. Ooh, he likes horseback riding. It was exciting to Ted. Ted's favorite place to cool off was the farm pond. On a tall branch of sycamore trees, his brother had hung a heavy rope. Ted loved to swing over the pond and jump in. Oh, this is a pretty picture too, Mary. Ted raised calves, chickens, and hogs on the farm. In the winter, Ted, with brothers, sisters, and friends, played hockey on the ice for hours at a time. Omar, look at this. Omar. Yell about it.
I think you clicked the wrong thing, Omar. You clicked the wrong thing.
Well, I think he's trying to help you, but maybe it has a process that it has to go through before it gets back to where you want it. As a child, Ted was quiet and thoughtful. What are you trying to do, Omar?
Get this wrong. Get this wrong.
He paid much attention to what others had to say. He often listened and thought about ideas that others had spoken, rather than talking very much. Ted attended the West Milton Church of the Brethren. He was baptized in the family's pond into the church. He became active in the work of the church. He enjoyed summer church camps and joined the church's youth groups. The young people organized work camps to help each other. Ted had a growing desire to be of service to others, especially to help people learn to help themselves.
We have to finish this before.
Ted had fun playing the guitar. He liked to sing songs called ballads. Music helped Ted relax. Ted went to Milton Union Schools in West Milton, Ohio. Sports were an important part of Ted's life. He earned varsity awards in football and in track and in wrestling during his school years. He also did well in other sports in college. Ted loved these activities because they helped him learn the real meaning of being a good sport and working as part of a team. Ted loved to tease his younger brother, Doug. He liked to dress Doug in a football uniform when he was small. Ted enjoyed riding his motor scooter. Ted was interested in farming or agriculture. He studied agriculture for 3 years in high school and was a member of the Future Farmers of America. During the summer months, he worked for a plumbing and heating company to help pay for his college education. Before Ted graduated from high school, his classmates voted him the senior male who had achieved the most during the past 4 years. He was given a trophy when he received this honor. Okay. The Church of the Brethren helped Ted understand that all people's lives are precious. Ted knew that God was a part of the whole world. Ted could never kill anyone, even during war. A person with this belief is called a pacifist. Ted wrote a letter to the United States government explaining why he could not fight and kill other people. The government said they would not force Ted to be a soldier. They listed him as a conscientious objector. Ted went to Manchester College in North Manchester, Indiana. By attending school during the summer, he finished college in 3 years rather than the usual 4. People were important to Ted during college. He had deep friendships with students and professors. At Manchester, he lived in a private home with other students. He roomed with persons from Turkey, Kenya, and Burma, as well as with Americans. Though Ted was very different from some of them, he learned that they could all be friends and care about each other.
Taking pictures of
Ted studied psychology and sociology. Both subjects helped him serve other people with special needs. After he graduated from Manchester, Ted attended Florida State and received his master's degree in social work. Now he was ready to spend full time helping people wherever God felt that he should. Ted had a great desire to travel around the world to fulfill his dream. Many college-aged young men and women were in the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, or the Marines. But Ted wanted to serve his country for 2 years in a way that would help others rather than hurt or kill them. When Ted was 23, he offered to go to Vietnam and help the people there become better farmers. Ted worked for Brethren Volunteer Services with an organization called Vietnam Christian Services. Ted lived with the people in Vietnam for 2 years. He helped them plant a kind of rice that could be grown more easily in highlands. He taught them how to irrigate or water the rice. A war was going on, but Ted was not a soldier. A popular song about Ted quotes him as saying, "Give me a shovel instead of a gun. I want to help people here." Ted raised chickens in bathtubs and grew vegetables and shared these with the mountain people.
Follow the team.
Ted helped the farmers grow better crops. He set up a rice polisher, a machine that kept the inner bran and takes off the rest of the rice kernel, instead of doing it by hand. In 1971, he married Vin Pak, a Chinese woman. She was a volunteer from Asian Christian Services. Ted and his new wife were happy together, but the war was still going on. Ted knew that many people had been killed in the war in the Dai Lin area where he worked. Even though Ted was not an American soldier, he knew that he was in danger, but he wanted to keep helping the Vietnam people. He went about his work as usual. A week after the wedding, Ted was shot to death.
Now go find some we really are.
Although his families and friends were sad when Ted died, they knew that he did what God wanted him to. He gave his life helping people rather than fighting them as soldiers. Ted has been remembered in books and records. A song has been written about him. As long as people keep the memory of Ted Studebaker in their hearts, his cruel death will serve a good purpose. Before Ted died, he wrote a letter to his family and friends in Ohio. He explained that he was trying hard to follow the example that God wanted him to live his life. Above all, he was taught how to love all people, including his enemies, and to return good for evil. Ted believed in the power of love. His short life showed his great love for other people and for God. He reached out his hand to help people in need, whoever they might be. Maybe these words in some letter will help us understand that Ted had for all persons in the world. Oh, that's beautiful. Ted wrote, "I believe that love is stronger and more enduring power than hatred for people, regardless of who they are and what they believe." Look at this picture. Isn't that beautiful? Is that beautiful? I mean, he did the whole book in colored pencils. Isn't that neat? I mean, that's a really neat use